Hey everyone, welcome back to another Tale and Tea video. Today continuing with Intergalactic Tea, the 2023 Year of the Robit series. This is the last one. This is the Year of the Robit Black. So I already have the leaf weighed out. Once again, very densely packed tea. A little more densely packed than I'd prefer. It's quite hard to break apart. And also the white and the Shang basically took like 5 or 6 steeps to actually like start fully opening up. It was kind of crazy. So I don't know, something I don't like about that. Just very densely packed, but it's just a little nitpick. It's not a huge deal. There's a lot of teas that are like that. A lot of 2-0 chas you get are so densely packed they become powder when trying to break them apart. This one's at least better than that. Yeah, it is what it is. But I'll go straight into the bag for a dry smell real quick. It doesn't really have any fruity notes or anything on the dry smell. It just kind of has a general herbal tea smell, frankly. We have about 7 grams here. I believe it's just under. Typically, I think I would brew a black tea with about 5 personally, but 7 should be fine. Frankly, that's just what broke off. It was, as I said, quite dense, quite hard to break off, and I didn't want to fiddle around with it and make a bunch of powder, so that's where we're going to be at. And we will do a very quick wash on this just to try to open up that tea a little more because it's so dense. Actually, I might give the wash a little extra time than normal, and I'll probably drink it just because it's a black tea. It should be fine. It shouldn't have too much funk to it, right? I don't believe I've ever had a black tea of any age on it. I think black tea, I don't know. I was under the impression black tea you wanted to drink pretty fresh. I don't think any age on any tea will probably be bad. I don't know, just something to note. I've never had a black tea with age on it, so I do wonder how that affects the tea. Since it's already fully oxidized, I don't know how that works. I'll actually leave the lid on, let it steam. Hopefully that'll open up the tea a little more. But already got a pretty nice color to it. Red tea, black as Chinese call it, black tea as Westerners call it. It does have a like a dark maroon color to it right now. And I'm sure it'll change and get deeper as I go. But looking good, looking clear, no haziness to it. Obviously the leaves weren't quite opened up yet, so even if there was going to be muddiness, it wouldn't happen yet. But it doesn't look muddy, doesn't look cloudy, looks great. Alright, I did drink that wash, not much flavor to it yet, so I didn't record it or talk about it on camera, but now we're going into that first steep. Leaves are starting to open. I did let them steam a bit in the closed Gaiwan. These are the same, I believe the same leaves, or at least the same farmer, for all 3 of these teas. Just processed slightly differently for the tea type. So for the white tea, the Shang Pu'er, and for this black tea if you're Western, or red tea if you want to go by the Chinese verbiage. Alright, got quite a bit more color now. Definitely a lot darker now. And the tea, now that it's wet, definitely has picked up quite a bit more smell. Let me expand upon that. Smells fantastic. That is something about red tea I've always enjoyed. Is I think it generally, frankly, in my opinion, it all basically smells the same from what I've had. I haven't delved super deep into them yet. I plan to. But there is a certain fruitiness that I can't quite place. Maybe like, if I want to be vague about it, like red fruit. If that makes any sense, like raspberries, strawberries, that kind of vibe. It is just a vague fruitiness I'm getting with like a sweetness. Along with just that herbal tea smell we all know and love. You know, this is the typical type of tea that most people have had. You go buy iced tea somewhere, you get yourself a cheap Lipton tea, you you get sweet tea somewhere, like it's always this type of tea, right? Just typically lower quality. Chinese red tea being the higher quality option, whereas typically like our tea bags are this, but powder. But yeah, it smells fantastic, I will say. Goes for, what, $28 for all these Year of the Robit teas. So for a 100-gram cake, they're all the same price, which I find interesting as well. But I guess it is the same material, just processed differently. So, yeah, they're all from the same farm, same processor, at least according to the website. There wasn't a ton of material. It just gave a vague city in China, basically, from what I saw. But yeah, $28, 100 grams. I believe that's what, 28 cents a gram, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. So not like a crazy astronomical price, not like a crazy cheap price either. It's definitely like right in the middle, I'd say. I've gotten some other teas from other companies that were cheaper and better, and I've gotten teas from other companies that were more expensive and worse. So yeah, I'd say it's like right in the middle on price for sure. But all right, I'm gonna try that second steep. It's quite good. It's not super overly fruity or super sweet. It's generally, I'd say, just pretty in the middle. Got a fantastic smell. Flavor's all right. Reasonable amount of sweetness to it. If I'm comparing it to, I believe I've done 2 other red teas on the channel. One from Tao Teaware and one from Jesse's Tea. Jesse's Tea, the Shimen Red Tea, so far is, frankly, just the best one I've had in general, up to this point in my life, out of red teas as a whole. That one was like the fruitiest, there's the sweetest. It had a fantastic smell, great body to it, very clear, very fresh. It tasted fantastic. This compared to the Tao Teaware one, I think I like this one a little more than the Tao Teaware one, which I think that's a more fair comparison. That one was also a caked red tea and had bigger, older-looking leaves like this, whereas the Jesse's Shimen Red Tea, they were like little, spindly, really pretty-looking leaves. Frankly, I don't recall where the Tao Teaware one is from, and this one is the same leaves as the past Year of the Robit teas from Intergalactic Tea. Yeah, I think this one would be just firmly in the middle out of the 3 I've tried so far. Yeah, reasonable sweetness to it, decent body, overall just a pretty herbal, typical red tea taste, nothing crazy. Definitely a reasonable quality for the price. I don't think it's bad at all. But also nothing that really stands out. Not a bad tea by any means. It would stand up well to some milk and sugar if that's your jam. It definitely does have some reasonable natural sweetness, not over the top. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say on it. It's a pretty simple one, frankly. Nothing crazy about it. I will say I don't like how heavily compressed these cakes are. That is definitely something that I'm not too into. That I find, yeah, I'm not too into the heavily compressed cake. I not like these past ones I had from Year of the Robot. Like I'd get to 5 or 6 steeps and they'd still be slightly compressed. So that's not something I'm too into. I feel like that kind of maybe takes away from the steeps and maybe from the flavor. I'm not too sure. Yeah. But otherwise, pretty good tea. Not too bad of a price. I think it's like 28 cents a gram. I've had better. I've had worse. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. So leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more tea content. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I got some more Intergalactic tea on the way. All right. See ya.